Hello guys, what is up? It is Shao Shan the Infernal General here again with another deck profile. Going to be looking at ABC today. It's pretty standard. There may be a couple things that are a little bit spicy, but yeah, let's go right into it. For starters, we do force play the triple A, play the triple B, and we play the triple C. I could see, maybe playing two Cs and stuff, but I think that playing three of each is the best way to go. I haven't really had any issues with playing three of each, and yeah, it works out pretty well. Play two Union Driver because this turns into A, B, or C whenever you need to. Next we play our things to help us summon extra monsters. 2 Gold Gadget, 2 Silver Gadget, and 2 Photon Thrasher. I might consider bumping a Photon Thrasher up to 3, but I think 2 is pretty good right now. I like how these are all, unless you get hand trapped, these all basically turn into 2 monsters as long as you have another monster in hand. So that's really nice. Next we're going to have our 2 Galaxy Soldiers. You could potentially play 3, but I think with Photon Orbital being a cheaper card now, you don't really need the third one quite as much. You could still consider it, but I don't think it's quite that necessary anymore. Speaking of Orbital, the 1 Photon Orbital that I got for $5. I love seeing this guy at $5 instead of $55 now, because now I finally feel good to pick him up. So, if you don't know what he does, when he's equipped to something, you get rid of him, and he searches your Galaxy Soldiers so that you can start your Infinity combo. Next up, the hand traps. We play 3 Gamma with the 1 Driver. These are good because in a lot of decks I've been cutting this because the Gammas can be bricky and the monster effects aren't quite as big at the moment. But they're still good enough, and with these also being lights, you can discard them for Galaxy Soldiers, so you can still get off your Infinity plays. And the only other hand trap I play is 3 Ash Blossom to do Ash Blossom things. She's really good. I don't think there's really many matchups where she's bad to have. Anyways, next we're going to play triple copies of Union Hanger. Do this, it lets you search your A, B, or C, and it lets you equip them. It just gives you all the A's, B's, and C's. You also play the 1 Terraforming to search it out. So you essentially play 4 copies of your Union Hanger. Next we play triple copies of Unauthorized Reactivation. Consider having this at 2, but I think it's really nice to have at 3. The only downside is that you do have to already be having your plays going. If you don't open your A, B, or C, then it's not quite as useful. But it's still good because it's kind of like a Union Hanger light, so it's good. For draw power, play Triple Pot of Desires. This would be great as Pot of Prosperity instead. I think when that card comes out, it pretty much can replace all of these Pot of cards in most decks. But for now, it's just Pot of Desires. It helps you draw things, so that's good. I also play 1 Pot of Avarice. Thought about 2, but I think one of the problems is you want to make sure that this goes off, so you don't want to have it as a brick in your open in hand. It might still happen, but happens much less this way. Also play 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster, just to deal with back row. Don't play a lot of back row hate in my main deck on this one, so I want to at least have 1 card to deal with it. And then we do play 1 Foolish Burial, just in case I need to get an A, B, or C in graveyard. Just dump it, and it's gone. It is probably going to be the card that most likely gets sided out a lot, but I think for game 1, it works pretty well. It does help with getting your combos going. Onto the extra deck, we play triple copies of ABC Dragon Buster, because we can play 3 again, and he is awesome. Next, we're going to play the Nova and the Infinity. You make your 2 Galaxy Soldiers, you put Nova and Infinity on top of it, and it's pretty great. Next, we of course play the Union Hanger, or Union Carrier. You could consider actually doing 2 in this deck just because it is that useful, but I only have 1, so he is being played at 1. You get the 1 Platinum Gadget. He helps you get more gadgets out. He gives you extra summons, and overall he's really good. You play the 1 Gear Gigant X. It's not as essential as it used to be, but he can still come up, so I like to at least have one of him in here. Those are the ones I consider to be the most essential. Next, I do play the IP Masquerena Nightmare Unicorn combo so that I can tag out on my opponent's turn, use Nightmare Unicorn, and do some awesome things. Play one Nightmare Cerberus to, deal with special summon monsters. You don't have to play him, you can play other things, but I like him still. It helps with link climbing and other stuff. This Nightmare Griffin is going to be a Nightmare Phoenix once it comes in the mail, which will help you pop back row. Do play the one copy of Daigusto Emerald to shuffle things back in the deck and draw more cards. Can put your ABC Dragon Busters back in the deck so that you can keep making more plays, which is really nice. Play the one copy of Abyss Dweller, the Shut Off Graveyards. And the only kind of oddball pick I put in here, because I didn't really know what else to put in here with my collection, one Cross Sheep. It can still be pretty nice though. I like the idea that if you use its effect with ABC Dragon Buster on the field, I think it has to be pointing at ABC Dragon Buster, then you get to special summon a level 4 monster from your hand, which is pretty nice. The Exceeds, it makes your opponent's monsters lose 500 attack, or 700 attack actually, so I've never used this card before, but I haven't really played it before ever either, so I can imagine that might be relevant every once in a while. But that's it for the main deck and the extra deck. So we're going to look at the side deck now. You can look at other things, of course. Side decks are a little more personal. But this is what I'm choosing to run. It's a little more hate for back row. Triple deck Oseka. It's because if I go up against a board that just sets a bunch of back row, I can side this in, summon it, and it doesn't instantly win duels the way it used to, but it can still be a hindrance against the right deck. I also play triple Ghost Spell and Haunted Mansion in the side deck so that I can deal with the graveyard of my opponents. I thought about playing like Lancey and stuff, but I still want to be able to use my ABC Dragon Buster if I have to, so I feel like Ghost Spell is a little bit nicer, just a little bit in this deck. Also on the side, triple Twin Twisters. Could play Cosmic Cyclone, but I think Twin Twisters is a little bit better in this because you get to pop 2 back row, and you can potentially be discarding your A's, B's, and C's. So, yeah, it's pretty great. Also play triple copies of Infinite Impermanence, in case I want to side in those hand traps. I can also put this in with Danko and still use it, which is pretty nice. And, maybe shutting off other people's back row is still nice. And triple copies of Solemn Judgment, just because it stops a lot of everything. So, again, you can kind of have fun with this side deck where you want to. I was thinking of like Raigeki. You could play maybe like Called by the Grave, other things, and yeah, things like that. So that does it for this ABC deck profile. Really excited to see Dragon Buster back at 3 and knowing that I actually have all the cards to play it again. Another thing that I thought was kind of cool, if you want to try something a little spicy, you could consider playing a little bit of a danger engine in this. Maybe like 3 Bigfoot, 3 Thunderbird. Maybe even put in a BLS or something like that. Chaos the Dragon Levianer if you want to. It'd be pretty fun. Discards Thunderbird, discard Bigfoot with ABC Dragon Buster. It's a pretty interesting idea if anyone's interested in trying that. Plus, then you can make some like rank 8 plays if you like that. I think for the most part, the deck is pretty much set in stone. But if you like the idea, go for it. I think this is probably the best version of the deck, really. Maybe with a couple cards that I'm not playing mixed in. But, yep, that does it for the deck profile, and thank you for watching.